Welcome to the Life Podcast, where we figure out frameworks to live the most fulfilling life possible. I share these thoughts and ideas from the lens of philosophy, observation, and critical thinking. My name is Jabade Umi, and I'll be your companion on your self-improvement journey. Please share and enjoy. So in this episode, we're going to talk about the art of focus. Referencing the newsletter I wrote a while back, I just wanted to emphasize more with like a podcast, just explain more and turn it into the art itself. So, like the art is just the series where I just give steps. So, we're talking about focus now, so I'll just give you steps on how to attain a level of focus, attain the level of focus that you need. So, some days, you're all hyped up, doing the work, you're energetic, you're motivated to just get that shit going on. And on some days you're just lazy. On some days you're not full of energy. You're not that kind of person. You're not motivated. You're not you get what I mean. So the thing about this is that as emotions are valuable, we feel emotions, we feel anger, we feel fear, we feel envy, jealousy. As emotions are a very big part of us, sometimes you don't need to listen to them most of the times. Sometimes you don't need to put too much value on your emotions. Just like what I was talking about in Every Guy Needs to Hear It, is that you feel like you're sad, you're dissing, or whatever, but you still have to do the work. You still have to do the work. And I always keep referencing what my dad told me. I asked him a question like, how does he keep it going anytime he's tired? And he's like, he tells himself that if he doesn't do it, who will do it? Like, if I don't do the work now, if I don't record the podcast, if I don't record the video, if I don't write, who would write it? Who would record the podcast? Who would do the videos? So it's up to me to get the work done. So you just need to understand that sometimes you feel sad, you feel like it's not connecting that day. And I feel like that sometimes. I feel like that some days where I'm not motivated to do the work. I'm not even just lazy. And I feel that those kind of days are, you put too much precedence on your emotions. You put too much precedence on, I don't feel like doing the work. When you should be the person that, I don't feel like doing the work, but I'm going to do it. So most people tie things, in our case, focus to emotions. They aren't in the mood, so they lose the focus. You're tying how you're tying your focus to emotion, you're tying your focus to your own motivation. Motivation is really an emotion, honestly. But there's a way you can manage it. Just like what I read in Subtle Art, that motivation is steered by action. You don't first get motivated, you first do the work, then you get motivated. Just like the podcast now. Sometimes I don't feel like recording a podcast. But when I start getting into it, 2 minutes, 3 minutes in, I'm really motivated. I'm hyped up to share more and to say what I have to say. Just like I said, most people tie things like focus to emotional responses, and then you just lose focus because you're not in the mood, you're not in the this, you're not in the that. So you need to remove all that. You need to understand that focus is a mindset. But I'm going to explain all that later. So this is the art. So we're going to just get practical about it and talk about steps or things that I use for myself and things I've learned elsewhere that could help you improve your focus. Just like what I keep saying, it's not like you will be focused 100% all the time. Sometimes you feel unmotivated, but most of the time you'll be able to put yourself back in gear and tell yourself that, yeah, I need to actually do the work today. I need to get this thing going. I need to do this stuff. I need to maintain my pure focus or whatever. So focus all comes down to your frame of mind, locking in and whatever. Anytime you feel like you're focused, anytime you're implementing pure focus, or you're just locked in, it's all the frame of mind. It's not like you feel like you want to focus. It's the frame of mind you're in. You're in the frame of mind that you want to get the work done. You're here to accomplish a set of goals. Or you're here to accomplish a task, and that's the mindset that keeps you focused. So, firstly, you need to understand that focus is not an emotion. I mean, your focus should not be tied to an emotion. It should be tied to your mindset. It should be tied to your goals, to where you see yourself after you complete this task, after you complete a certain level of task in the next 5 years, next 10 years, depending on where you're seeing yourself, But it's a mindset. It's a mindset. And you need to understand that focus should be tied to your mind and not to your emotions. Not when you feel like focusing. You need to understand that you need to put the work every day. You need to lock your focus to your mindset. So, how to get that frame of mind is to keep the big picture in mind, just like what I said. How to get to that frame of mind is keeping the big picture in mind. So keeping the big picture in mind is usually just reminding yourself of where you're heading to or where you're trying to achieve. Maybe you're working on a project and you're getting on with you're losing focus and you're dabbling around, and you just need to keep that big picture in mind. You need to remind yourself why you're working on this project, what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve with this and what you need to focus up. So just keeping that big picture in mind, keeping that big picture in mind. Instead of daydreaming about random stuff, you daydream about where you want to see yourself, or you just imagine where you want to see yourself, and remember that the only way you can get to that stage is if you continue to put in the work right now. So just like I said, keeping the big picture in mind, you're not daydreaming about some alternative lifestyle. You're daydreaming about where you want to be in the next 5 years with the work you're doing right now, with where you're trying to do right now. Just like now you have a startup now, and you're already dreaming about the next 5 years, the solutions you're going to be solving with your startup in the next 5 years, the problems you're going to be facing and everything. You know, it might seem like daydreaming, but it's productive daydreaming because you're already thinking about what you can work on right now. So you know that okay, in the next 5 years, I want to get my startup to where it's going to be. What I need to do right now is this, and that, this, and that. That's like productive daydreaming. It's not like the daydream where you're dreaming about like surfing in the Bahamas. Like it's something you could do. I mean, something you could do, but how would you get there? It's daydreaming, but it's like escapism daydreaming. You're not daydreaming about like where you would be and have like a concrete plan to it. So like the one with the startup, you already know that okay, if I want to get my startup to where it needs to be, I need to do this, I need to do that right here, right now, and I need to do this, I need to do that. So that for me though, that's productive daydreaming in my own idea of it. So when the way you wake up too also determines how you focus. So I realized it recently that the way you wake up or how you wake up or when you wake up, just your manner of waking up determines your whole day. It doesn't really determine your whole day though, but it determines like the first part of your day. Unless maybe you're able to get yourself in order as fast as possible, right? And the way you wake up ties this to the way you slept. So if you slept late, you're going to wake up shitty. If you slept at the proper time, you're going to wake up pretty okay. You know, so like just like I said, you need to wake up in the right frame of mind, and how you wake up is tied to how you slept the day before. So the main idea of focus though is having a realistic expectation of your goals or work and being excited to do it. So the only way you will focus on your work itself is if you really have really good expectation or a good outlook for it, like in the next 5 months or 5 years or whatever, I should be at this stage, I should be at this stage because I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. And you're excited to do the work. It's something that you have passion for. It's something that you look forward to all the time. And basically that's where you get your optimum level of focus in what you're trying to do in the work you're trying to achieve or anything. You have this realistic expectation of the goal you're trying to achieve, and you're excited to do the goal, or you're excited to do the work to get to that goal. So sometimes it just means getting angry. Sometimes you might just be lazy, and it just takes you to just get angry at the current situation, and you're like I need to get my shit together. I need to get my stuff in order. Sometimes you just need to get angry. Sometimes that's what you need to focus. You don't need to do any crazy routine. Sometimes you just need to keep reminding yourself, just like what I said earlier. It's a frame of mind. You need to keep reminding yourself that this is where I need to be. I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing that. Anytime you're losing focus, you remind yourself that this is what I need to do. 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 So what have I been doing to maintain focus recently? So what I do is no distractions. I try to limit my distractions. So like I reduce the amount of scrolling I do on social media, like during the day at least, or even just generally per se. Like I don't know, it's nothing really exciting anymore. So I just keep that excitement for the creations of like the work itself. So no distractions, and I remind myself on what I have to achieve, what I need to do immediately to get my dream emotion. Just like what I said, I think the main idea of focus is keeping it in mind, keeping it in mind, keeping it in mind, keeping yourself in check. Just like anyone that has anger issues, you need to, just like the video I recorded or the video I talked about recently on is anger the worst emotion. I think there's also a podcast episode at this point. So also why I said like if you want to try and manage your anger, you need to always have a slow approach to things. You always need, you really need to be slow to react. You just need to calm down a bit. And it's the same thing with focusing. You know, you need to remind yourself of where you're heading to. You need to remind yourself of what you need to achieve, what you need to do to get there. And it just helps you maintain that level of focus. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you understood some stuff. The main idea is basically reminding yourself of what you're trying to achieve and your goals and everything. Just keep the big picture in mind. So that's the main idea. So thank you for listening to this, and as always, I will see you in another episode. Peace.